Ooh.
Hello, welcome. Happy World Fringe Day, Bill and Jill from Barnstaple Fringe Festival. Why don't you tell us about your welcome, first of all, and tell us about your Fringe Festival.
Well, it's just happened. It finished 10 days ago now, and it was 4 days of very intense activity. We had 72 different companies descending on Barnstaple. We had 262 different performances over those 4 days. That's right.
Oh my God.
We decided to really compact it into 4 really intense days. So we had 7 venues, basically, 6 of them ticketed, and then we had a tent which had another series of shows in that were pay as you will.
And then we had a lot of site-specific places, small venues that just had a couple of things in, things happening in the shopping centre and on the streets as well.
You can't have possibly have seen everything.
Nobody could have done.
No, it was impossible this year.
So somebody who was really keen could probably just about have caught the inside shows and glimpses of the outside shows as they belted from one venue to another. But it's really to try and conjure up here in little old Barnstaple something of the energy that we felt when we were in Canada at Fringes there, nearly 20 years ago now.
Because we're really old.
Yeah. We got so excited by what was happening in Winnipeg and Saskatoon and Edmonton that it had long been a dream to try and gift some of what was gifted to us back to people here.
Yeah, amazing. And have you been back to Canada since?
No, we haven't been back to Canada since 2003. It just doesn't. It's not possible now. We've got so much on, but I think by the time we finish this Fringe, we're always so exhausted and already planning for next year. You know what it's like.
Yeah, of course you are. And have you recovered yet from? Have you had a nice relaxing 10 days, or is it?
No, no. We've just come back from 3 days on tour to try to earn some money. So no, we've also we still got all the financial side to finish off, and all the wash up and the feedback sessions, and we enjoy those because we kind of get a chance to reflect and think about how we want to plan it for next year.
Yeah, and both of you don't only run a Fringe, do you? You actually tour to other Fringes as performers.
Exactly, yeah.
Where have you been recently?
Well, Limerick was the last Fringe we went to, and we're particularly excited about that because it's another Fringe that of a similar size and a similar ambition in terms of what it provides for performers and its ambitions in terms of what it does within its community. And there's a strong link up with the Limerick Fringe. We had a gang of 3 technicians who came over and were absolutely invaluable in helping us deliver in terms of the inside venues. And then we had someone who was officially here as a volunteer from Limerick who was helping us and looking at swapping thoughts on how best to do things. And
some Limerick performers as well. We had one of the guys who actually organises Limerick, Simon, brought his own show, plus 2 other companies as well. So Ireland was pretty well represented in Barnstaple this year, which is lovely.
Well, in Limerick specifically. And also, I mean, shows that we didn't see here, but we'd already seen them in Limerick. So there was an interplay in terms of the programming as well.
We're also hoping to go to Stroud Fringe in September, and we've also done Prague Fringe and Reading Fringe, both of which we love, adore, but can't always fit it all in, you know.
No, quite. And as performers and festival managers, directors, what do you think the importance of Fringe festivals have to performing companies and artists?
Okay, the importance to performing for performing artists and companies.
For artists, well, here in Barnstaple, we try to not define Fringe at all, so that it has a different importance for different people. So, but to look at local artists and local audiences, there's real chance here to meet each other in a way that we tend to be quite segmented here in North Devon. There tends to be a divide between amateur companies, professional companies, student companies, and this is a chance for people to be working on a level playing field, meeting each other, finding that actually there's huge amounts in common. And we hope that that really helps galvanise what happens in North Devon throughout the rest of the year as well. That was really, really happening this year. It's taken a while for people to feel that Fringe belongs to them.
Yeah.
People with all sorts of different approaches, and we're really happy to see that happening.
And of course, some companies come because they're running a show in to go to Edinburgh, or they're just running a show in that's going to tour. So, and some companies are trying out something completely new or different to what they're normally doing, which is another opportunity that we can provide. And some people are literally doing a kind of a one-off thing because they can, because it's a chance of the platform for them to try something completely new. So we do have a proportion of companies who are completely new to it. Every year, I would say at least 2 or 3 companies who will have never done a Fringe before. So we're helping them, if you like, learn the ropes and hopefully ignite a little spark.
Yeah, and now that audiences are kind of getting it, how do you think that they perceive it, and why is that important to the city and the town, that they are now understanding it and embracing it?
Sorry, was that audiences or performers?
Yeah, audiences, yeah.
Yes, audiences. Well, I mean, again, it's felt as though this year has been something of a breakthrough. We had more out on the street and in informal spaces than ever before. And the interface with people who've not discovered Fringe before has been much more profound. I was really struck with a comment that somebody made in a blog, that they had felt that Fringe wasn't for them. For whatever reason, they'd been aware of it. One of their children was in one of the shows, so they came along to that, but they then went to a whole series of other shows as well. Particularly, they saw someone that they'd seen before, sort of on the big stage in musicals, and were really thrilled by the fact of being up close and what that gave them. So the environment of Fringe, both in terms of the buzz of what was happening in the town, but also the fact of it being less formal, of it being close up, which may have been actually what was making them feel that Fringe wasn't for them in the first place. But this informality have really fired them up.
Yeah.
And
right.
That to us is what the great joy of Fringe was when we first were thrown into the middle of it in Winnipeg.
Yes.
Exciting pieces in curious places.
I was very pleased. My elderly mum came to stay a couple of weeks ago, and she went to the hairdressers, and the hairdresser knew all about it. And the hairdresser had told mum about the difference that Fringe had made to them. And I was kind of knocked out. Thought, I have no idea what way that's happened, but the fact that small businesses are seeing the positive value of having a whole load of people descend on them and use the facilities in Barnstaple in different ways is great.
Sorry, I always think that hairdressers and taxi drivers are a really good kind of gauge on whether there's a knowledge of what's going on in the town.
Yeah, definitely.
That's brilliant that they need, and they talk to everybody the most, so they're the best marketing tool you can get.
Sorry, I missed that
Missed the last bit.
They're a good marketing tool for you. Hairdressers and taxi drivers.
Yes, absolutely.
And it wasn't just the small businesses this year. I mean, the big hotel chain in North Devon was tweeting about us, had put up on their own account, they'd created pages on their website about Fringe Theatre Fest, encouraging their visitors to come down, enjoy it and stay at their hotels.
And that was off their own back, so that's kind of quite exciting. We also managed to get quite a lot of local companies to sponsor the Fringe, you know, from the local kind of garage, a kind of a family garage business to a building company, all local companies. So that was really great, wasn't it? Having architects.
Yeah, so a lot of sponsorship of individual venues and the brochure and various other aspects of Fringe. Because again, that was something that we were terribly aware of, particularly in Saskatoon. When we were there, the Small Traders Association was absolutely key in running the Fringe. I know that in Saskatoon it's been through various different kind of convolutions, but when we then went to Orlando Fringe, there were representatives of the Small Traders Association in Saskatoon coming down to kind of help Orlando look at that same relationship with the business community. And we're very keen to be embracing the business community, talking with them about how we work together to build this. And we were quite struck when we saw it. It wasn't a particularly British model. We tend to run to the Arts Council or similar bodies before we run to the business community. But no, we decided we wanted to go a different way.
I also had great fun going around the town handing out brochures to different companies, and was delighted when estate agents went, "Oh, Fringe again, great!"
That's amazing. And also, of course, the more you get from businesses and things like that, the more you can support the artists who come to your festival.
I missed the very end again. The more we support.
And the more businesses support the festival, the more the festival can support the artists. That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It becomes knit into the fabric of the town.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I mean, our next stage is that we're beginning to. We're now year 12, and we think we're at a position where we can look more kind of holistically throughout the year as to what the effect of Fringe can be.
There are only little ways that we can help artists at the moment, directly through things like billeting people who are coming from up country, etc., within the local community. Because coming to Barnstaple is a long way, it will cost people. But we're also trying to think of how the community can benefit more, if you like, from that kind of relationship with the arts throughout the year. Getting to know artists better, finding the means by which the venues that we use for Fringe could be more evident at different times of the year as well.
Yeah, right. We're going to go in a minute and sign off. But before we do, is there anything you would like to tell us? You can hear.
Well, so something else that emerged this year is that there is suddenly a sort of larger group of people who really want to come on board and help us deliver this to the best. And we need to take advantage of that. We've kind of pushed this Fringe to the limit so that it was of a size to inspire. And the size was part of it. As we started by saying, it's actually 78 companies, 262 shows is huge for a town of Barnstable size.
Yeah.
And it's also a bit huge for us. But we're confident now that there's a group of people coming on board to help us restructure, rethink how we do deliver, so that we can make it sustainable.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I can't believe it's been going for 12 years. That's amazing.
It started very small.
Yeah, we only had 8 companies the first year.
Reputation. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Happy World Fringe Day to you both. And it's lovely
And to you.
And around the world. Great.
Yeah, everyone
That's
around
much, everybody.
the world.
Mwah,
Yeah.
mwah. Bye-bye.
See you, Barnstaple
See
Fringe.
ya.
Bye.